Hello? 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 Okay, you hear me? Hold on. Hello? Testing, testing. Okay, we're live. Okay, we're live. Sorry, I had to check my phone real quick. How y'all? How you doing today? How you doing today? My name is Parker the Hurricane Thomas, and today I had to test and see. Sorry about that. I had to check my phone a little bit. Um, it's time to let me introduce myself today. It's time for one of those videos to introduce myself a little bit. My name is Parker the Hurricane Thomas. I'm an SFL player, slot corner and starting corner for the Arizona Scorpions, a league called the Esimulation Football League. This league is a digital gridiron as such. It's a digital gridiron, so you basically create a player, you compete, you create that player, you're in the game, and you compete. This league I've been doing since 2018, if you're curious. I've been doing this since 2018. I'm very glad to compete still. I've been doing this since season 13. If we want to be exactly correct. Next year will be my 5th year anniversary. Or actually, this year's actually my 5th year, I think. Yeah, this year's my 5th year anniversary this summer. So it's I'm very humble, I'm very glad, and I'm very happy to compete. And I've been yes. Hold on a minute, y'all. Hold on a minute, got cats. What y'all doing? What y'all doing over here? There you go. How you doing, chunky boy? Okay. Hold on a minute. All right, I'm back. They just want to be silly today. They want to be vocal. They're very vocal cats too, so they're cute. All right, here we go. Now let me introduce myself more about myself without the cats, stuff like that. Basically, I have been doing this thing for a very long time, and I have not just done this out of the blue. I had a reason for it. When I was in high school, I used to play bowling. I used to compete in bowling, high school bowling. I'm very glad every day to at least be in that event, to be in the biggest stage, and that is the state championship in 2017 for doubles. People don't understand when the crowd noise comes for you, you have to sink it all in somewhat. But that's not about me. I do get a little emotional in those kind of games when the biggest stage comes along, but it's good. It's good that way. Another thing I like to say is being. I used to watch the Arizona Cardinals in 2008, back when Kurt Warner was in the helm. I loved Kurt Warner when he was a Ram, at St. Louis Ram to be exact. And hold on a minute. I know Chunky. Yeah, he's attention getter. Like one of my cats is attention getter. He's such vocal. Come here. You want to be a cute one? I'm here. Hey, come here. I'm here. Say hi to the chat. Say hi. Boy, you're such a vocal one. He is such a vocal cat. Yes. You know what, guys? You're going to have something fun to watch. Hold on a minute. He's very vocal. I don't know what he wants. Every time he does this, I don't know what he wants. He's a cute one, though. He's a cute one. And I know I should not carry him the way he did, but I love my cats. They're silly, they're vocal, and I like vocal cats. They're not, but they do act silly offline. And cats act the most silliest too. But it is what it is. Um, I want to bring up something as well. Hold on, I gotta check the wires again. Hold on a minute. There we go. There we go. Fix that. There we go. We're much better. We're much better now. There we go. So another thing I like to do, if you're wondering, is another thing I like to do is do art. I do any kind of art actually. I create my own player art, SFL wise. I create my own little fancy art as well. If y'all don't know, when I was a little kid, I loved knights, like medieval stuff, like Fire Emblem based stuff. Actually, that was why I loved Byleth from Fire Emblem. Actually, when I was playing Fire Emblem Three Houses a long time ago, I think it was like a couple years back. I mean, I think some people know what I'm talking about. Um, they enjoy the I know some people who I was live streaming with, and they did my live stream didn't go great. But it was really fun. It was a good game to play. Fire Emblem Three Hopes, it's okay. It was a good Fire Emblem Warriors game. It wasn't the best, but it is what it is. But yeah, if you're curious what I'm drinking tea with Ginseng honey. It's the Arizona tea. I love it. And it gives me the Uncle Iroh vibe, doesn't it? Which also, by the way, I'm an Avatar: Last Airbender fan. Actually, I started to watch a little bit of the show. I enjoy it. I watched the first season. I think the first 10 episodes of that season. I need to get back watching that. I'm going to be honest. I need to get back watching that. I need to get back streaming it. Another thing. What happened? Why is it? Oh, wait. Who was participant? Oh. Okay. Get back to work. So I'll say, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Another thing, I was about to say hi. I was about to say hi a little bit, but it's okay. It's fine. Another thing I like to do is Retro Bowl College. I like to do art. I like to even do that's why I'm actually doing a YouTube series, two YouTube series with. I know. I'm just petting him right now. I'm petting him, by the way. I always do this to comfort him because he's such a vocal cat. Is that right, Chunky? Yeah, he's a vocal one. He doesn't like if he's very talkative. And I know, Chunky. I know you love me talking, don't you? I'm here. You're gonna sit with me. There you go. There you go. You're gonna sit with me. You're gonna sit with me. There we go. I don't want you to get tangled. Say hi to the chat. By the way, say hi to the chat. Say hi. Say hi to the chat, everyone. Sorry, I'm not carrying one. Like, he's a cute little one. Give him like 3 kisses today now, because I'm trying to get him being happy. I'm trying to make him being happy. I'm trying to make him happy of all things. He's also such a very vocal one too. He will, like, if you ask him if you need to give him every morning he will meow at me, and he will wake me up at 7, 8, or 9 to give him food. It's wild. It is such wild. There you go. There you go. Chunky, I'm gonna pet you. See, he likes that. See, you like that, huh? Yeah, I like to pet his back because cats like petting their backs. Some cats like to pet their belly a little bit, but some are very picky with that. Dogs are really more. Yeah, I'm trying to be gentle with them. Don't worry, I'm not trying to be. There you go, boy. There you go. There you go. You can rub my hand while I'm talking. There we go. That's much better. Okay, go back to what I was talking about. So another thing I like to talk about is another thing I like is art. Like I said, I support any kind of art as long as it's not illegal. I remember someone named Sun Naruto, great guy or great person to listen to, talk to, very nice person. He told me, I think it was a him, I think I don't know, but Sun Naruto told me that, and I agree with him with this, that there are types of art that would be acceptable, right? There are some, right? However, come here. Come here. You always want to interrupt my stream today. I don't know why. I don't know why you want to interrupt my stream right now. We're just 10 minutes in. You're just interrupting my stream, cat. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I think it's what he wants. What do you want? What do you want? You want to go outside? You want to go back outside? No. Come here, boy. Come here. You want to go outside? No. Okay. Do you want to go outside, Lucy? Yeah, Lucy's our girl cat, if you're wondering. You want to go outside? Or are you going to lay down? No? Okay. Okay. Oh, you're such a good boy. Oh, you're purring too. Aw, see? Oh, you're purring. Aw. Aw, cute. Cute, you're purring with me today. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. It means I'm doing the right thing. I'm loving you the right way. But back to what I was saying. If you hear the cat scratching, this. Yeah, my cats like to go outside in the afternoon or in the mornings. I don't know why. Another thing I like to do, okay, is another thing I like, just overall, is to basically try to think of the best way I can explain this. But I agree with what Star Naruto was trying to say. Trying to get myself back on track. I agree with what Star Naruto had to say about that. And he said this in the live stream, by the way, and I agree with him. I do agree that art should be very limited, but it should be very cautious what you make. And I've seen some that people do really good with their art, and that's what appeals to me sometimes. And if you give me the way I look at things is, if you give me a good amount of art, like if you give me good art, I'll like it. Doesn't really matter. Okay, it doesn't really matter the context. Like, I've seen some that are fan art, right? I've seen fan art time to time, and I enjoy it. I even seen some that are like, I've seen some that are very. I'm not going to word it right. I'm not going to word it, but if you get what I'm saying. But there are different types of art. And one of the things I enjoy about art is that it can be contextualized. It can be context-wise. It could be, talking about things, stuff like that. Another thing I like is my cat scratching doors now? Yeah, my cats love doing that. Come here. There we go. Off you go. Yeah, if you guys heard the cats scratching, yeah, this has already been 15. It's already been 15 minutes, and these cats want to go wild on me. I don't know what's going on. Sorry about that. I don't know. These cats are just too affectionate for me. I don't know why. All right, I'm gonna let them do their own thing. But okay, now back to what I was saying. The point is, I like making art. Fire Emblem based art, like my own character, stuff like that. Even I was considering one day to ask not ask, but I'd like to make a Persona 5 character art. But someone told me, like, hey, Parker, you need to start commissioning stuff. You need to start commissioning stuff and basically enjoy what you make because that's what's meaningful. Um, like I said, my goal is for this stream to be an hour and a half ish. So you'll get to know me a little bit more. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, and also I'm a cat lover, so that's why you saw me loving them down there. I'm trying to take care of them while I'm doing the stream. So, but sometimes cats are too affectionate. Sometimes cats are a little bit too affectionate. I'm just gonna say that much. Um, but I will go back to the Retro Bowl College thing. Some of you may notice in those streams that I enjoy. I enjoy making live streams. Not live streams, but I enjoy making content. Um, when I was younger, yeah, the cat's gonna fight in the wrong time. Cats love to play around. The cats love to play around too. So if you're hearing some, that's them making noises. So if you see them playing around, they play around. They like doing that. Another thing I like. Another thing I like is with this Retro Bowl College thing is I want to be a commentator. Actually, I've been like that since a little kid. I wanted to do something like that. That's why some of y'all who have been used to watching this channel, some of you may all notice that there's some radio calls of me doing stuff like Black Space's content. If you don't know Black Space, he did I think he did some baseball series, which he thought I did really good on that, which thank you. Thank you for that compliment, by the way. I appreciate that. Another thing I wanted to do with these radio calls is I wanted to make it look good. But my body was starting a little bit break down last year, stuff like that. It's all right. It's okay. I've been trying to be less stressful and enjoy this content. And the thing is, I don't really, and like this strategy, for example, I'm not gonna try to focus on the likes or the dislikes. If you ever read my community post, you would understand that I enjoy making content. I enjoy it. I enjoy the making of the content. The cats, like I said, they're kawaii. I enjoy them. They're making my life a little less stressful. But at the same time, they are sometimes stressful because they do some absolute shenanigans. But it is what it is. One thing I like to do with this Retro Bowl College is this second one, if you guys and gals notice, is I want to make sure. Okay, we're good. I want to do an anime / fictional character / other thing. So my goal is to enjoy this content, the joy that I make. That's the only goal I want to do with this. It is not me making the money. I'm not focused on the money part. I just want to make the content so you all can rewatch and say, wow. Like, I always like to rewatch my content all the time, too. And I always analyze and say, wow, I did really good. Now, if you don't know, my goal in life is to be a sports commentator. And I only picked the Arizona Scorpions as well because their team is nice. They respected me. They treat me like family. Which I'll get into that part. But for now, my hobbies are art making, art making. I also like doing, like I said, play video games on my own time. I like to play video games on my own private time. I always like to make content as such that I enjoy making. I have no issues whatsoever. I actually did an offline version of what my next series is going to be. Actually, I basically put anime characters, fictional characters, and all that kind of stuff. So, and also, I'm very creative with that stuff. I make storylines from time to time. I even, if you all don't know, I love creating stories. Creating stories wise, I got a lot of inspirations from groups of people, different groups, different people, different types of people. and different types of stories within people, basically. Sorry, not different types of people, but different types of stories within them people. And those kind of things will inspire me to do what I want to do. For example, I've been working on projects for the SFL, for example. I've been working on an SFL project, which I will be talking about sooner, which I need to get back into that. All right, but if you want to know, it's basically an SFL commemoration project I'm making. It will be ending by the end of this year, but the story is going to be based on this season, and it's just a fictional story. It is not going to be accurate. It is not going to be accurate, but I want to make this fun and authentic to the point. I enjoy it. And that's what football is all about. You enjoy things, you make content, and you can do what you want to do. And that's what matters. So, and like I said, I enjoy anime. Like I said, I enjoy Avatar. I enjoy Sailor Moon. I enjoy any kind of anime you give me. I watch it if I enjoy it. Food Wars, I actually started watching a little bit on someone else's group show or group thing, and I enjoyed it. I was watching a few episodes. I love Food Wars, actually. Food Wars is nothing but memes, but I enjoy the show nonetheless. I like it. I like the show. I like the premise. I like the funny moments, and I like the wholesome moments of that show. So there's a lot of good stuff within that. I'd like that show to be as it is. But another show I like, actually, if you guys, well, I wouldn't say I like, but I was curious, but I will give you some context. So I went to a manga shop. Yeah, I like reading manga, actually. That's another thing I like doing, is reading manga when I have time, which I need to get back into. I need to get back into reading manga. Which I'll probably need. I want to like read manga in my own time, but I know I want to read a manga on a live stream if you guys want me to, and make it as like an ASMR based thing. Like, I like to do something like that, and just me flipping pages, me reading, me reacting, stuff like that. I mean, if you guys give me the thumbs up on that, let me know, because I would love doing that. I would like to do anime, manga, stuff like that, because that's what I love to do. I enjoy manga, and I'll tell you guys this. I have some books on my shelf. Not even kidding. I have some books on my shelf of Naruto, SAO, a couple of Legend of Zelda books. I think I have. Oh yeah, I have it. My Hero Academia. I got the first volume, by the way. The very first volume of the series, mind you. And I got some couple other volumes. Yeah, I have I actually another volume, like a 3-book volume of SAO and something else. So I got a lot of inspiration to my stories within those as well. I actually, fun fact, I remember one time I went to a manga bookshop, bought all 3 books. Actually, I bought one of them somewhere else, and I got the whole completion of the books. I got a whole completion, and I enjoy that stuff. I really do. I enjoy. Yes, where's it, Chunky? Come here. Come here. I know you want company. I know you want. No, okay. If you want to go outside, do you want to go outside? Aw, come here. I'll be right back. What do you want? 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 Oh, what do you want? Ow! Don't bite me. Ow! Don't bite me. Be nice. Be nice and be happy. Be happy for us. Okay. I'm back. My cat thinks I'm food. I don't know why. I don't know why my cat thinks I'm food. Actually, you know what I'm gonna have to do? Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I think I know what he wants. Cat treats. That's what you want. You need a lot of. You need nothing. Give you nothing if you have to. There we go. All right, I'm back. That's what to keep them occupied. That's what to keep them occupied. Okay. That's what going to keep them occupied. So, I'm back. I know what they want. They want cat trees. Maybe that's what they wanted. Another thing I liked to do. Sorry for this whole cutoff because my cats they're needy. All they are, they're needy. But the SAO project, for example, is actually an inspiration to one of the mangas I was actually considering going to read sometime in the future. So, like I said, if you guys have anything, any ideas, put it in the comments, put it on the live stream chat, put it on anything, put it on anything to do. Because at that point, I'm going to be very happy. I'm going to be very glad to do it. Now, on to introducing myself. Another thing I like to do is writing stories. Writing stories wise, I've seen people write fanfics. I've seen people do, My Hero Academia stuff, their own original content. I actually was considering wanting to make my own original content too. If you're curious. So if you're very, very curious, that's what I wanted to do. Another thing, if you want to get to know me more of, I like to be a sports commentator. That is why, actually, one of the reasons why I wanted to do the Retro Bowl College thing. Another thing I like to do is, like I said, that's actually one of the reasons why I want to do this. Sorry, like I said, I'm sorry for re-explaining a lot of the things I said earlier, like 20 minutes ago. But like I said, the cats are interfering in my job. they're like they think they run the show. These cats think they run the show. But so they not the point. The point is that I'm trying to think of the best way to put this. Basically, I have hobbies, I have interests, stuff like that. But like I said, I want to do more content than just gaming and talking about writing stories, talking about advice, stuff like that. But I will probably want to do a partial live stream, part of this live stream, to talk about that kind of stuff. One of the things I like to do, one of the things I love to do is give advice to people, even though I'm not the best at giving advice to people. I just say it as it is and just talk about it. Well, I will tell you something. I'll talk about depression. Let's talk about that today. It's a little bit of an Uncle Hurricane talking today. Uncle Hurricane today. All right. Depression is going to be temporary. It may be a year, 3 years, 5 years, a day, or a week, or a month, or even 6 months. And right, by the way, 5 years, people will have that amount of depression. I've been there. It sucks. But nowadays, I come to accept who I am as one of the very best slot cornerbacks and one of the very up-and-coming best cornerbacks of all time in the XFL. And I will forever accept that for who I am. I do not care what anyone else thinks about me except for my comrades in that team. Which, let's go ahead and talk about my team, this Arizona Scorpions. I have been with the Oklahoma City Renegades for one season, which I call my Vince Papale season. If you don't know Vince Papale, we all know him from Invincible, from Mark Wahlberg's movie. I'm going to make sure the cats are okay. But Mark Wahlberg made that film. and actually was actually one of the inspirations I wanted to do this. Mark Wahlberg's movie, and a lot of other sports movies. There was another movie called "When the Game Stands Tall," which was by the way a Christian sports film. One of my favorites of all time. One of my favorites because it talks about a lot about family, conflicts with family, uh, stuff like that. And I really enjoy sports, especially high school sports. Like I said, if you don't know, I competed in high school bowling, and I remember when I was in the state tournament, the crowd was basically electric. What I remembered was what all because of my team as a whole. Basically, I was competing in the doubles. It was me and some other teammate I will not name, but we went all the way to state. We won regional title, upsetting a couple teams, I think. Actually, we made a shocking comeback in the first or second, the first, second round, We went to the quarterfinals. We were all behind 2 strikes. We went all the way to the finals of the regional. Won that. And I had that monkey off my back for so long. And man, it felt good. It sure as hell felt good. It sure as hell felt good that way. Um, another thing I loved about that tournament journey was we have upsetted 3 teams in the state. We upsetted 1 in regional. So that was just the beginning. What was astounding though is I give myself credit where it's due. I only slept 6.5 hours, actually 5 hours that night, the night before the tournament, and went all the way to state. I mean, I recall I drank a Dr. Pepper. I know the Dr. Pepper or Coke. I didn't sleep well that night. I had a lot of things on my mind. But some way, somehow, upset 3 teams. And it was so funny. The first round, I was so groggy. I didn't know what happened. But some way, somehow, I just, out of pure instinct, I basically become Frank Reich to Super Bowl 51 Tom Brady within that second, third, and semifinal round, all over it. Now, the first round, we barely lost, by the way. We lost by like 9 to 10 points. It was that bad. 9 to 10 points. It was that bad. So I was a little afraid, a little bit. But my dad told me, my dad was supportive. Well, my family was supportive. We'll say that. My family was there. And basically, I was supported by my team, my comrades, and I'm very, very happy every day to do that. I'm very happy. And I will be honest, I'm not gonna get too deep. But my family was supportive of me the whole way, and that I will just say it this way: I'm very humbled to go all the way to the championship game. And keep in mind, this is the only one I was in. The only one. This was my senior year. Junior year, we got to a buzzsaw in the team tournament. There was no such thing as a doubles. There was just a singles and a team. That's it. And we went to a buzzsaw. In my senior year, here's the irony of it. The team went to a buzzsaw in the regional. The last season, they got to a buzzsaw in the second round. The second round. So, if you don't know, team tournaments are a best of 5 on each round. I think in the semifinals and the finals of the championship game of the state, you get a best of 7. So it's a 5-5-5, 7-7. So it's kind of like a World Series, basically. It's kind of like what MLB does or the NBA does, where they have a best out of 1, 1, 5, 5, 7, 7. So one of the things I loved about that situation was on, I think, the second game. Actually, yeah, there were best out of 3 on the. Yeah, it was actually, correct myself. There were best out of 5. We won the first game in the second round. And the second game, on the first round, we pulled off a shocker. So they were behind, and I had a teammate, one of the very best. He threw over 300. One of my favorite moments of watching, of games, was he somehow pulled off a strike, 3 strikes in the 10th frame, and we got all the way coming back and won that game. Actually, it was the exact same way that I experienced. In my freshman year, I was in a team game. I forgot the team was. The first game I think we lost. Actually, we won both games. Actually, I think we won both games. The first game, I was the last person of that team because my coach was like, "Parker, we need you to start." I was like, "Why? Why? I was basically treating myself undervalued because it's okay to put low expectations for yourself, right? Boy, I did the best decision I made the best decision because on the first half, we went to a buzzsaw. All my fault. One of my teammates said, "Parker, you can do this." Boom, boom, boom. Strike, strike, strike. The first half, I think I remember the first frame I made, it was like I made strikes. The second half, I was we were going to a buzzsaw with the team, right? The second half was the team. But I was on 5th frame. I pulled off, on the 5th frame, on the second game, we nearly pulled off the first game. We nearly did. Because I remember now. Sorry. Yeah, on the first game, we nearly pulled off a win. Some way, somehow, my other teammates did really good. On the 10th frame, on the first half, we were about 30 points behind. Some way, somehow. And they actually went to a buzzsaw in the second half of that game, on that first set of frames. We basically did strike. I did a couple spares, and then I did a strike and a spare. Actually, correct myself. It was a spare and a strike. Basically pulling off a comeback. And actually, we were the only thing, and here's the most amazing part about it is on that game alone, we were playing catch up. And they were making mistake after mistake. And it was really bad on their part. On the second game, oh my gosh, it was another classic. The second one, it was kind of a little scary because it was going to be, my team was spare, and I had a spare, right? I had a little bit of a spare. And then the second half, we went all blown full strike. Not full blown, but somewhat blown. I actually, on the 10th frame, I put icing on the cake, and I put a spare and a strike. And it was really nice. It was a nice little cherry on top. And I basically pulled off a Kobe on that one. I didn't know how I did that. That was incredible. It was one of my favorite games of all time because it kind of validated me as one of the all-time best. It really was. It was pretty much validated one of the all-time best. And I'm very, very happy about that. Another thing another story I'd like to share was that back to that state tournament game. I love the fact in that state tournament, some way, somehow, like I said, there was one game in particular I loved. I think it was the third round, the quarterfinals. It came down to one frame, and that was mine. They had about a total of 20 points. I think it was 20 points, or 15 points behind. I did a spare in the first part of the frame, on the 10th frame. My teammate, she told me, "Parker, you just need 6 or 7 pins." Or I think it was 4 or 5. It was easy. I remember I called my shot. And I literally throw the ball. It was a beauty shot of the ball, too. No buzzers, nothing. Everyone in the crowd was watching. So I remember the pressure was on me because it was all come down to this. So I went straight through, clean as ever, cleaned. Beautiful, beautiful. Throw the ball straight up. I said, going my way. Game over is instant with a strike. And I remember my opponent's teammates were like this. They were absolutely shocked. I remember, so you remember the Texas game where the whole Texas quarterback was jaw dropped? That's how they were. because I went from 4 to a strike on a snap. And it's basically like that song that meme song from Virtual's. Forgot that song's called, but the storm is approaching. I always remember that as my storm is approaching moment. Yes. Come here. Yes. Come on. Do you want to go outside? Ow. Hit my table. Ow. But I'll end it this way. Did lost state. I did lost state. Come here. Come here. Come here, guys. You're not going to interrupt my streams anymore. There we go. All right, I'm back. Yeah, there we go. I'm back. Now the cats are just being goofballs today. They want all attention to them. But my point is that whole thing is, like I said, there's going to be another stream like this where I talk more about myself. This is, like I said, part 1. Now, I bet some of y'all may notice in the stream that this is more of a less of a and like I said, I'm not focused on the likes or the dislikes of the stream. What matters to me is me talking to you all. That's what matters to me, because that makes my job so much meaningful with this. And you know what? Being meaningful doesn't, being meaningful is one of the greatest things in my life. Making life meaningful is special. The way I look at things in life is this. One thing I've learned in life. One thing I've learned in my life is meaningfulness in life is the precursor to what your life goes on in positive ways. And that's what happens sometimes. You should be happy about things. You should be grateful with things. And, and it shouldn't be bad at all to the point where you can do what you want to do. But also being grateful also means that you appreciate the life that you have. And I do. I appreciate my life. I'm grateful for all the good moments I have. And I know in another show I want to talk about not the negatives, but my weaknesses. And that's okay. Because weaknesses do not mean anything to me. Sorry, that's my outside. But I'm grateful every day to be where I'm at. Another thing I like to do in my life is, like I said, make this content. Leave a legacy behind for anyone to know me. If anyone in the SFL ever is curious, that's my goal in life, is to leave a legacy. It's like that song by Eminem, Legacy. I love that song because it's true. One of my favorite songs of all time. And but in the SFL, I will talk about my top 5 favorite moments of all time. My top 5 favorite moments of all time is my top 5 favorite moments of the SFL, if you're curious, is number 1, the 67-yarder of Cliff Allen's field goal. I think it was like 67 yards. No, the 56 yards, right? That's 67. It's like Cliff Allen cannot kick a 67-yarder. I'll be real with that. But it's a 56-yarder. I'll tell you this story. It was against Florida in their full field. It was in their stadium. Actually, hold on, man. I'm gonna do something actually clever on the mat. I'm gonna leave the door open like this. Might as well get some cold air. I might as well get some fresh air here. Might as well get some fresh air, right? Might as well get some fresh air here. Might as well get some fresh air. My favorite thing is about that game is that at Florida's home stadium, the crowd was all against us. A lot more boos and less a lot more boos and a lot less a lot less cheers. In the opening round, we'll go back to that game in a little bit, but I'll get to that. That's actually my fourth favorite moment. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I remember. So Eddie Gage got injured. If you don't know who Eddie Gage is, he's my head coach. I want to do a series on him to be in a boxing game. Actually, I'm going to talk about that in the future. I want to talk about that and my next stream in a little later this week. I want to do another live stream later this week. I enjoy. Like I said, in order to give my coach kudos for a lot of things, I think he should be getting a series of his own. But that's just me. But basically, I enjoy content. I enjoy the content. I really do. I enjoy the content. And in order to give him this credit, I think he needs to get it because of this game. So he was injured right around the fourth quarter. We were right around near the end of the fourth quarter. He got injured. I was there when he was injured. Heartbroken, defeated, and I know that we're absolutely doomed it from the start. But at least the coach, and I remember when the coach was only like, hey, don't worry about it. Just keep your head high and all that. But I know IRL's Eddie Gage was like, no. So I understand, and it sucked, really. But at least he cared about the team. And that's what's great about him. Is that's the original one. That's the coach. They always care about the team. He always cares about the players. But it is what it is. But I enjoy the content to just give Eddie. I said them as my mind. I need to give my head coach a series. I have to. Either it's Retro Bowl or something else. Because I had to give him much credit. I had to give him that thank you that he deserves. But I have to. I have to. But that game, they were playing a route, a screen a little bit. Ashley, our quarterback, Ashley Jackson, passed it to TJ Punk, baby. He's our Adam Cole in the wide receiver core. He's our Adam Cole, baby. But instead of Adam Cole, it's TJ Punk, baby. He caught it, and he went out of bounds. Now, I remember Eddie Gage was a little annoyed, which I didn't understand why, because in my own mind, I thought, in my own mind, I think we could pull it off. And I remember Eddie Gage. I told Eddie Gage, I think we can do it. I have faith. And guess what? I said in one of the first seasons of the franchise, keep the faith. And guess what? It sure did pay off because it all came down to a kick by Cliff Allen, one of the greatest kickers of all time in the SFL, period. The end, over. I do not care what people think. He pulled a 56-yarder. A 56-yarder. A 56-yarder. Keep that in mind. A 56-yarder. In games like All Pro Football 2K8, no kicker can make that kick. None of them. Never. The good news is the win was against us. I think the win was against us or on our side. I don't know. But I did check that out too. But I had chills. I did. I had a bad feeling, but at the same time, I felt chills. I felt and I literally felt the heart pumping out of my heart to my brain. I heard it in my ears too, like boom, 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 boom. And it was a stressful moment in my entire SO career, but some way, somehow, he pulled it off. And that was, to me, was just an incredible, it was a beauty shot as well. If you just watch that game, if you're curious, just watch that game. It was a beauty of a game. Just, if you look at the field goal ball, I think I shared it on a YouTube short, but it went all the way to the back of the crossbar. IRL, if it hits back to a crossbar, boing, down to the back. So it is what it is on that one. But long story short, my point is that that game was beautiful. and that actually they only had about 5 seconds left in that game. I thought it was 10 to 5 seconds. It all came down to one play, and they had to pass it to a wide receiver, but I deflected it, and I was like this. And guess what? It was a short validation game. Number 4, on to the next one. Another game I liked was against the Atlanta Storm. All came down to one play. They were right around past our midfield. I was right in the middle. I think if they scored a touchdown, they would win the game. I think I'm trying to remember. They were going for a field goal or a touchdown. I deflected off my hand, tipped it off on the ground. I tried to grab it, but it was game over either way, and Arizona won. Instant classic game on that one. Number 3 was Lone. Actually, which goes to number 2. Number 3 was Ashley Jackson. This was another favorite game of mine. Actually, was Ashley Jackson's clutch win last week. It all came down to one play. I think it was 2 seconds left. Ashley Jackson spiked the ball down their 1-yard line. All came down to one touchdown play. They caught it, touchdown. All came down to a field goal. It was game over, 21-20. And we would be now 3-1 that one. Number 2 was the Lone Star Glory versus it was Arizona versus. It would be on our home field. It'll be in our home field. It was Arizona versus Lone Star Glory. This will be their last game in the franchise. This is actually one of my favorite games. One of my favorite games of all time. And actually, if you want to get a tie for number 3, will be the Sioux Falls versus Arizona Scorpions game, where it was infamous. It was a famous moment for the Hurricane, Parker Thomas himself, a.k.a. me, where they picked 6, which will go 6. I think it was 6. Actually, yeah, 6 and 5. Actually, it was 5 and 5. I think, to be exact. And actually, I was Diva of the Week that week. And actually, a lot of people were all in for it, which was pretty much I was the Joe. Actually, pretty much solidified that I was the Joe Burrow of cornerbacks for Arizona Scorpions. And that's what I always say. I'm here to make noise. That's all that matters for Arizona. I mean, we're coming for all at this point. Another thing I want to say is I'll end this stream in a little bit. Number 2 is Lone Star Glory versus. Actually, it's a 2-way tie. Actually, it's another 2-way tie. So I got a total like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 best moments within this tiebreakers. Number 2 was actually a tie between London and Arizona and Lone Star Glory and Arizona. But London game, it was a shocker. People expected that London was going to go to the championship game. Guess what? They didn't. They were way behind. They went to a buzzsaw in the semifinals. And all thanks to our Hurricane pick 6, which ironically so I think that season 20, they had a rematch on the night before, actually on the day before, on the day or night before, Super Bowl 57 last year. So if you're curious about the war, there you go. It's going to be and actually ironically is in Arizona's Fatality Field, which is you can give Eddie Gage that credit name because I like that name because it's a Mortal Kombat reference. Fatality. But I also what I liked about it was, and this is a lot in my mind, there's a lot in my mind, this best moment of mine, was it's one of my favorite moments about that game, of that Arizona Scorpions home game against London was the last minute where Johnny Pickler fake pumped and he threw it, tipped the ball. I grabbed it while I was tripping and I fell off and I was happy. I was. It's one of my favorite moments of all time. One of my favorite moments of all time. And people don't understand. People don't understand, you know. I'm trying to digest the game alone. I mean, that was just a beautiful game. I mean, again, another game to solidify the Hurricane himself. Another game I enjoy, another game I like goes number 2, is the Lone Star Glory at Arizona game. Lone Star Glory at Arizona. This game was one of my favorite games of all time. It was a famous game, in my opinion, over my own player and over myself. We were behind 19-0. Now, someone, I don't know if someone DM'd me or they pinged me. Yeah, someone pinged me, and I saw we were way behind 19-0. I was like, what the absolute hell just happened at halftime? Because I thought we were going to get the lead back. We were going to get the lead. But it was a 19-7 game. I think it was a 19-7, I think, or something like that. It was a pretty bad game. It was like 19-3 or 19-7. I forgot the score. We were basically getting into a buzzsaw in the first half. Second half, some way, somehow, we pulled a Kansas City over Houston Texans over our butts. I mean, literally, if your retreat ever reacted to that game, oh boy, Lone Star Glory pulled a Houston Texans on their butts. Trust me, I guarantee he would be basically roasting them on a steak. They'll basically, like, not on a steak, but you know what I'm saying. They'll basically be roasting them, like, basically roast them like a steak. That's what I'm saying. Like basically cook them. Like, they would basically, that's how your training would be. Like, basically, if you're training a whole SFL reaction, my gosh, he would be roasting on the whole team. But let's not get into that either. Let's not get into that nonsense. But let's not get into that either. Another thing I liked about that game was the pick six. It was a clean pick six. It was clean. I don't know how I pulled it off, but it was just a clean game. It was a beautiful, clean pick six. And I remember Mike Daggs, I think he said this, is that there are so many great cornerbacks in the SFL, but none better than Parker Thomas. And I remember that gave me chills on my spine. I think it was like slot cornerbacks in the SFL. There are many best ones, but there are none better than Parker Thomas. And he said none of them. And that gave me chills. That all that progression, all that hard work paid off. And to me, that is what made this whole thing fulfilling. I said the passion of mine, the passion, the work ethic, the hard work. Yeah, hard work ethic, everything all came down to that game. And I remember in the Arizona number one, it was season 19 championship game. Now, we lost, but the intro was the whole package of how it felt to be in that game. I mean, it was just basically just like that bowling career of mine. To be on the biggest stage and be at Baltimore's home field, which is Sports Gamer Online Stadium, by the way. Basically named after an oracle. Which, by the way, go check that site. It's a really good site if you like guides, stuff like that. I recommend that. It's better than any other gaming site. But still, the chills. I remember watching that game a few weeks back. And I remember the crowd noise. I mean, it gave me chills to be in the biggest stage, to be in the big show. And even though I lost in overtime, actually it was the first game also to be on overtime. So basically it was like Super Bowl 51, but we were lost. But it was basically one of my favorite games of all time, period. So that's number one. Hands down. It was basically a tie game. It was an altercation, and basically it was a long game too. It was basically like Super Bowl, but longer. It was a fun game to watch. I mean, it was an instant classic in my opinion, even though we lost back to back. I still think it was a fun game, and just being the biggest stage should say something about that. And that gives me chills all the spine all the time to be on no matter what the crowd is, Arizona crowd or any other team's crowd, to be in that stage. That means something. That should, I mean, if anyone was in that game, I mean, someone would gives the chills on their spine to just be on the biggest stage and be on the big show. And that should say something. But anyway, that's all being said. I'm gonna end this stream in about another 5 to 10 minutes. I'm gonna check out how the cats are doing. Hold on a minute. How you doing, cats? How you doing, sweeties? How you doing? You good? Okay. Sorry I was yelling. I'm sorry if you heard the mic. I always call them sweeties because they're cute. I always love my cats. I'm a cat lover too, so I always love cats, even though the cats I have are annoying and they're reckless. I remember one time, I think it was like a few weeks back. So if you see that little lamp over there, one of the cats literally knocked over that lamp. I was like, I remember I was doing my computer work too. I was doing work and all that. I was looking back. I was like this. What the hell? I was like, what the hell? That's that's pretty much like that. That's probably the first time I've seen both cats go that crazy at nighttime. That was like at 9 o'clock at night too, when cats go wild. And it's pretty much the funniest story I like to share. I remember one time, one of these two cats also knocked on that lamp. That was the same day too. Lucy, who's my cat, I love her, but she's a reckless one. Hey Lucy, hey Lucy. She would knock down that lamp, and then I have a meal table. Have you know those little like dining tables, like those little like old school dinner tables? They're like a little stool up there and have a little thing like that. You can lean them and level them. That's mine. I enjoy that table. I need to clean it though. I still need to clean it because it's a little dirty, a little bit. I enjoy that though. I enjoy that table. I love it. It's one of my favorite things. One of my favorite things along with the furniture. But I probably need to get a new one anyway. But holy smokes! Not only did that cat knock on that one, but also not done that within a 10-minute duration. My cats are wild. Like, probably she's like she basically won the lifetime award. She basically won the lifetime award for knocking on that lamp, knocking on that table, knocking on something else. Just basically won the lifetime award being the most reckless cat I ever seen. Just basically won that award. Some way, somehow, just won that award on snap, on my opinion. But anyway, let's talk about coming series wise. Let's talk about the series. All right, I'm gonna do a little bit of food ward reference. All right, gotta be focused. Okay, number one. Let's talk about the Retro Bowl College series. We'll be having two series. Number one, we're going to be doing the Parker Thomas Head Coach Career Series. Will still be ongoing. It's going to take a little bit of a break. I'm trying to take a little bit of a break on that one so I can get the second series going. The second series, if you're curious, the second series is a anime, fictional characters, manga, any kind of media I put in there. Now, the only thing I would love to see on the comments is some sort of like lore or even just a little bit of a backstory to the characters. That's where you guys come in. You guys and gals come in. I like to see if someone makes like a fictional, like I put a fictional character in there. I would love to see if somebody in the comments, just for fun, I like to see what the fictional backstory is because I've seen a guy named Param Crow. Hats off to him for actually one of the motivations why I want to do this Retro Bowl series. Hats off to him. I love Prom Crow. He's an awesome dude. He's a nonchalant. I actually got into Australian football. That's how you say it. Australian football, what do they call it? All thanks to him. I love rugby. I love rugby. I think it was Australian rugby. I love it. I love him when I was watching his stream. Fun guy to watch too. He was an awesome guy to watch on YouTube and on Twitch. Another guy actually I want to give hats off and shout out on is Mr. Hurricane. He's actually a lot of people know Mr. Hurricane for his sports streams, stuff like that. And my goal in life is I want to do this whole thing where it's a college, but with fictional anime characters and mangas and references. I would love to see that. And I love to see how you guys feel about that. I would like to see, and that's what I'm doing. I like to do something like this. And that's why I'm actually getting started. Episode, which by the way, episode 2 will be coming in next week. So I'll be scheduling that episode 2. I'll be scheduling that one. I'll be scheduling it. So if you do see something next week, just keep your eyes on that. If it's not, I'll be in a couple weeks because I'll be busy anyway, trying to get everything all rolling. So just keep that in mind. Later in the month, I got a motivational video coming in. I actually even did a food test review of Pockies. Now, I also want to give another shout out to a VTuber, Cell Dark Rose. Cell Dark Rose's community has been very, very nice. I'm very grateful and helped me out a lot. Cell Dark Rose, British Goku, Koi McCloud, Sammy Zoo, Sammy, Crossy, all of them. Hats off to you all and the community and the VTuber community for helping me out with my hard times. I can't thank you all enough because I'll tell you guys this, tell you guys, gals. I went through a lot of depression. I stopped content at 2020 to just get my mental health evaluated. Went to a really rough and dark spot. My team knows that. I went to a very deep, dark spot. And I remember when my teammates have told me a lot of good, encouraging things. I thank him for it. I do. I thank him. I thank my teammates. I thank past teammates. I mean, people I cannot thank enough. And I love you all. I love you all, Arizona. I love you all. Just know that. Don't forget that. And I love you all. Just know that. I love you all. I love you all, V2 community. I love you all. Just don't be toxic on me right now. Don't go on me because I've seen people made YouTube videos on the VTuber community being such toxic, which I do not understand why. I'm not. And by the way, I'm not saying the whole VTuber community is toxic. I'm just saying there are some people have a. I don't know what their issue is because it's all because of Twitter. By the way, I've seen a video where I think it was Zai. I think her name is Zai. Forgot the VTuber. Great person. I enjoy all the VTubers I join. And I remember when there was one video, I had to give a link to it sometime in the future. Just give a shout out on. But I was watching her video, and I was like, man, I had to question my mind. I was like, what's happening on Twitter? Because all these people being toxic. And it's like, I'm just dumbfounded. And I enjoy the VTubers have conversations like this. I do. I enjoy conversations like this because it tells me who I am. That's how I am. I like to tell about my thoughts. I'd like to not vent. I don't like to vent on things, but I like to say things as they are. And the way I look at things is if you're being toxic, I don't want to have no part of it. Like, I don't want no part of it. I don't want any negativity. I want to have good vibes coming. Which is why I love my cats. Even though they're too needy. They're too needy sometimes. Go ahead and finish my tea while I end the stream. But also, like I said, shout out to Cell Dark Rose community, all of them, for helping me out along the way. And they always lift me up a lot. They do. They help me sleep. Those streams help me sleep a lot. And those kind of things I appreciate because actually that's one of the biggest favors for Twitch. It's one of the biggest favors I have for Twitch. YouTube, the same thing. I enjoy it. I enjoy playing YouTube videos on background when I'm sleeping. It's just me. I like something like an ASMR or something like that. That's how I am. And that's the good thing about technology is that you can use it right. You can do it right. But you gotta be very careful when you do it, how you do it. You gotta do it right. Because some people do it the wrong way. But anyway, back to the series. So I'm actually, like I said, Retro Bowl College, those two series will be coming along. I got a Eddie Gauge. Like I said, I'm gonna do a series. Either it's Retro Bowl or which I assume I'm doing a Retro Bowl. I like to do with that series is go all intertwine. I like to intertwine that series from my coaching series to all the way to his series. So I like to do something like that, actually. I like to do like my series and then goes to his series just to, make more story more meaningful and makes it more funner that way. That's how I am. I never have any problems like that. But I'll go ahead and end this in around a few minutes. But like I said, Eddie Gauge series will be coming in. I also was thinking about doing I was considering doing also I wanted to do, and this is something really fun I want to do is like I said, do these kind of live streams. for now. I'd like to do something like these kind of live streams on weekends or on times on the weekday I am available. So you guys get to know me and, we can talk about things. But like I said, hats off to the V2 community. I'd like to shout you all out positively because you'll have no idea how glad I am back doing this. I am more grateful for the people to support me along the way than anyone else is out there. But anyway, which leads me to my advice for the day. My Uncle Ira of the day quote. My own Uncle Parker, which is a cheers. Like I said, depression is gonna be 5. It can take a long time or a short time. But there's one thing that will not change is the people who support you. You have, and like I said, I'm gonna use this quote I had on my community post. Pick your friends wisely. Pick your family wisely. Love your family conditionally. Why? Sometimes there are some family members who are ungrateful. They're toxic. They want to start problems. They want to be negative to you. But those who care about you should be your main focus. Those who don't look at focus on you, well, who do support you, but they don't really focus on the eyes on the prize, you should stay away from them. But if you have a true family, doesn't have to be with blood. It can be with friends, teammates, comrades. Also could be just acquaintances you want to build up your friendship with. That's what makes what really matters. That's why a lot of people use the whole friendship is magic kind of stuff. And that's right. And it is. It's true. Friendship is what makes it special. If you have no friends, you're alone, which makes you a lone wolf. And I'm not saying a lone wolf is good or bad. Being a lone wolf sometimes is a good thing, especially if it means that you're telling them like, hey, I don't know who to trust. But being a lone wolf for like 5 months or long term doesn't really help you much because people look back at you and they're going to look at you and say, is that really worth it to be a friend with this person? And I'm not saying being a lone wolf is a bad thing either. Actually, the good thing about being a lone wolf is it gives you extra airspace to evaluate yourself, but also extra airtime, or I would say that like oxygen. We need our oxygen. Ironically, it's like what I'm doing right now. My thing open. Sometimes you gotta open that door up. Sometimes you have to open that door up and say. Sometimes you gotta open that door up and get that fresh air. I treat that the same way as such. The only kicker is if you do too much oxygen, your body gets too much, and actually too much stability. And too much stability is sometimes good, but sometimes can be bad too, because that means that your body, it's the same as drinking water. When you drink too much water, right, you have too much oxygen, you can have your own issues with that. That's another parable I like to use. It's like water. It's like a cup of water or too much water. When you drink too much water, and aka when you do a habit that's too much, it hurts you. It can harm you. But if you do it minorly, like temporarily, time to time, like once every 2 weeks, once every month, once every 3 weeks, or even once a week, you can look back and say, wow, it really did I sure made a healthy thing out of it. Some people don't. And being a lone wolf is one of those things where you have to be very careful how long you're going to do it. Because if you do it way too long, like most of your life, what's your purpose? Right? And also being alone is not a good thing. Because the way I look at things is being a lone wolf, like I said, it's a good thing, but also that has its negatives. It's always a gray space. There's no black or white. It's like I always like to use this analogy as well. I like to use this parable. It's like the Anakin Skywalker's name, Anakin, and Obi-Wan when they had that battle when Anakin died. When his what's her name? I forgot her name, but Anakin was talking to his girlfriend, and she told her about the situation, and Obi-Wan fought him because he was going to the dark side. Anakin was all black and white, saying, "Well, if you don't support me, then I will have no choice but to kill you." And Obi-Wan said, well, Obi-Wan said, like, I got no choice if you're going to be all or nothing. And I agree with that. I that's why I like Obi-Wan. He looked at this and said, well, if you think that way, if you're going to think all or nothing, then I got no choice but to fight you. That's why I love Obi-Wan back in the day. The original Obi-Wan was absolutely a great character. He was the true teacher. He's like the master, the teacher, while Anakin was the student, in my opinion. And that's just my own opinion. I like to see what the comments about that one is, but I like to use that parable as well, because I'll end it that way with this whole lone wolf thing. Is you can't think all black and white here. It's either you're a lone wolf or nothing. No. So there's a gray area. And we cannot look at the black and white in things. You gotta look at that mix. Now, sometimes, which is one of the reasons why I don't like a yes or a no, because there's something in between. You can't ask a yes or no all the time. You got to be more open-minded. See my point here? Basically, my point is, being black and white is never a good thing. Well, I won't say never either. Don't say never. Never say never. And don't say never. And don't say always. When you say always, it means it happens all the time. When you say the word never, basically, you think it's not going to happen. It's impossible. It's the same saying it's impossible. Always think it's always possible. Thinking that's mostly the case. Or it's 100, it's like 99.9% or 100% is the case. No, there's sometimes there's be 99%, a 50% chance, or a 25% chance, or a slim chance. You got to look at things and you have to look at things in a different limelight. That's the way I look at things. And I'm very grateful every day to do that. And I'm very grateful. Like I said, I'm very grateful. I'm happy to give people what I think on my mind. And I know that if people don't like me, then if people don't like me for what I do, then I have no choice but make some changes. And that's okay. So Anyway, but yeah, I love my cats. I gotta take care of them anyway. I love them. I know they interfered the first quarter of my stream, and I apologize to you all. At least you guys get to know them. At least you guys get to know those cats. Like I said, Lucy was the one who's being a pain today. But anyway, I gotta go. Thank you all for watching, and if you ever wonder where I'll be back in a couple weeks with these live streams. So, like I said, in a week or two, if you see another live stream, be ready. Because, like I said, in a couple weeks. I want to get a couple weeks in so then I can do more of this. But like I said, VTuber community, I'd like to thank you for helping me out. Sell Dark Rose, Corn McCloud, Bridge Goku, which, by the way, Bridge, if you're ever watching this, I heard about what you're going through. I want to let you know that I'm sorry you're dealing with that. Okay? I'm sorry that you're dealing with it. Just know that we're here for you. Okay? We're here for you. And that's what matters and that's what matters to all of us, is that people, that's what matters, is the community that you have is helping you out. And that's what matters. And I'll end it this way too. Like I said, I'd like to give hats off to the community of Bridge Gokus, all of them. Like I said, I'd like to also thank the community of the SFL. I would probably get about 20 shout outs within this live stream alone, to the point I want to get a graphic on the community post. That's how bad it is. That's how much bad love I am with this, what I'm doing. Because they motivate me to go back on doing this. They did. They motivate me and here's the thing, I'll end it this way too. Before I go, I'll end the stream in about a few minutes, which is where I'm going to go back to the original point. Friends can be your family if they're there to morally support you. Do you see my point? And that's why I support a lot of them. I agree with what they're saying. They have a good point. And if they ever call me on the wrong point, they can call me out and say, hey, I don't agree with that. And I'll ask, why is that? Because now at least I get context and explanation. That's what true friends are made. That's what true friendships are made as well. You know when to make them. You know when true friendships are made when you basically know what you're doing. But anyway, I'm gonna end this live stream. But yeah, basically, true friendships. My point is, what that is, true friendships are come from people who morally support you and who support you overall, and those friends you make want to give back to you, which is why I said, Bridge Goku, I'm sorry you're dealing with this, but just know we're here to back you up. We're here for you. Yeah, we're here for you. That's all that matters. I know you have a lot, and I saw your video involving the emotional stuff you're dealing with, and I'm sorry you're dealing with that. Just take your time. I'm happy that you're taking care of yourself. I'm very happy because I see you on your streams. I'm very happy, and like I said, I'm sorry you're dealing with what you're dealing with. Just keep your head up and just know it's okay. We're here for you. Anyway, I'm gonna end it in this stream. Thank you all, and I'm gonna thank you all, and thank you, community. Thank you. There we go.